Hello, my name is Ilona and it is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. There are still, how do you say this, working with the votes in America. So much is going on there, so I'm going to take a look later in this video. I first want to just take a look at an article I saw in the Dutch media. Very interesting article. I was first like, what is this? Why would you even come out with this? But there is apparently a virtual reality new headset that will end your life if your life in the game ends. So it will end your life in reality. So if it's game over in the game, it's game over in life. So it can actually take your life. Paul Malucky, who is apparently the founder of the virtual reality company Oculus, says that he has designed a virtual reality headset that can actually end someone's life. Wow, it's like, why would you come out with that? Who would buy something like that? But then I was like, this is showing people how destructive things like virtual reality can be. Because really, the more people connected to virtual reality and living in virtual reality, the less they are present in the reality as what we're seeing outside. And that's exactly what the dark energies want. And they want to control you. They want us all hooked up in a virtual reality. They'll be controlling our energy ultimately, because we're putting all our energy in this virtual game. We're not even going to bother checking our bodies or what's going on there. And they will fuse us with technology. And in that way, they can use whatever they want, how they want it. And we'll be just in some la la land somewhere in virtual reality. I've even seen some movies about, being hooked up in virtual reality. That's because the reality outside is like dystopian. So everybody is kind of just fleeing in this virtual reality world. There is also an episode on Black Mirror called San Junipero, if I'm not mistaken. It's really about also loading up people in this virtual reality after they die. They are kind of programming. That's what they want. They want us to use us. And now they're really working towards youth, because most young people are using all these games that are open for the virtual reality. They want to suck in as many people through virtual reality. But this is really showing the danger. And I think that's very important. I think it's also showing something. But I also looked a little bit what this company is about. Well, it's being taken over by Meta Platforms, formerly Facebook Incorporated. So that should tell you something about the dark energy. But then I found that Palmer Luckey, who's actually the one designed this apparently headset, has changed politically and is now actually pro Mr. T and the Republican Party. And he's actually given a lot of donations to the Republican Party. That's interesting. So I'm just going to take a look at this energy, what this is really about. What is this article about a virtual reality headset? Let's face it, who on earth is going to buy that? But just why come out with that? I see it as like a warning. I see this as a white hat operation. We've got the Empress. We've got the 10 of Wands as the central card. We've got the Knight of Pentacles in the past. We've got the 5 of Pentacles underneath the 10 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Swords in the future and the Magician. So to me, this really is showing what is wrong with the world. This is like such an in-your-face thing to see. There is so much going on now. People want to get away from reality. They want to hide. We have addictions. We have people only gaming, especially the youth, because there's been done such a number on our youth. They've been treated horribly. Our children, our youth in the education system. in just living the way we are living, the dark energies really did a number on them. They're youth missing. They've done horrible things to our children. This entire system is not really built to embrace children or to have them connect with each other. No, it's about alienating people, and especially the past 2.5 years for the youth. There's been so much damage done by isolating them, by making them feel responsible for their grandparents, their parents. They had to get the sting because otherwise they couldn't go out, they couldn't visit family, things like that. The dark energies really destroyed a lot. And they're now working with this fear energy for the climate. It's 10 years. We only have 10 years. It's going to be horrible. We're going to be living in a horrible world. We have to do something now. And they're loading up all these feelings of guilt on the next generation, on the younger generation. They purposely do that. They want them isolated so they can connect them to this virtual reality where everything is possible. It's really representation, actually, in their way, twisted way, of our imagination. But they need us because they're not creative. So we have to be the one shaping that virtual reality. But in essence, we can use our imagination to really change reality around us. We do not need a virtual reality for that. It's really just some inverted, manipulative mix-up of reality. That's what they do. They twist it around so they can keep us occupied in some virtual hive mind, and they can do whatever they want with that energy. They need that energy. Without it, they don't have any food, they don't have any sustenance, and they cannot really create. So they need us for that. And really what they ultimately want is us fused with technology, hooked up on a hive mind, and they want to start as young as possible. That's why you have all these gadgets and all these things. The younger people are, the easier they will fall for this technology. Then they have no problem in maybe, incorporating something in their hands or in their head so they can just connect to the internet. Oh, cool, new thing. So I think this is really a message, and this is also about restoring that female principle. That's very important, really, to balance that out, that we really need to look at ourselves and, of course, look at our youth and help them through this period. How do you say this? Keep them isolated, keep them by themselves so that they have no one to turn to. We need to connect with everyone. By connecting to ourselves, we can truly connect with our children, with people around us. And we need that. We need to go through all this old pain of isolation, of not feeling like you're good enough. A lot of youth are now being raised with all these mixed ideas and twisted and changed ideas. They barely know who they are anymore. And they have all these gadgets and all this social media that's kind of taking over. And of course, there are very conscious youth as well. There are teenagers with an incredible wisdom, but there are a lot of teenagers left out in the cold, who are really left out in the cold. And we really need to open ourselves up for that and help them along. They need our help. As parents, as grandparents, as maybe aunts, uncles, we really need to open ourselves if they are ready for that, obviously, but especially with young children, it's so important to teach them about nature, to show them reality is right outside and it's what you create with your imagination. You don't have to flee to virtual reality if you're connected to the reality around you. And that's what that is about. Really showing children that it's about the magician in themselves. They can create what they want. They don't need a headset for that. Certainly not a headset that could actually end you. You do not need that. That is very destructive. It's really about opening up. It's showing our children, the next generation, what they can all do by showing them this beautiful connection, this love energy, this so important that they connect with their emotions, their feelings, and their pain. If there's a feeling of burden, of guilt, help them through it. first of all, deal with your own pains, because then you can truly help other people, and especially the youth, in really connecting with themselves again, so they can step into their power and start creating and start using their imagination to create the reality they want and not hide in some virtual reality. So that's what I wanted to talk about that. I also want to take a look right now, because so much is coming out, so much messing around with the voting. I think it's probably not going to look like a big victory. Very interesting, especially in the states where there is a strict control over what's going on with the voting. There is a red wave, because there is a red wave, face it. All the others, you know, the more blue states, they are messing around. Apparently, machines are not working. Things are just chaotic, and it will come out. I'm just going to see what the energy is right now about that, but things are going to come out. They are watching closely, and I'm talking about the white hats. And somewhere I felt last night, I was just like, maybe even the white hats are kind of behind this as well, because it's so in your face now. So I'm just going to take a look with my cards if that is really the case, because it's really so obvious. Even the people that are fast asleep in America are seeing it now with their own eyes. They're experiencing it. It's apparently things not working. They just have to wait in line. So let's see. We've got the moon. We have the 7 of Swords as the central card. We've got the 3 of Wands in the past. We've got the 2 of Swords underneath the 7 of Swords. We've got the Queen of Pentacles for the near future. And the Lover's card. So to me, I think it's purposely done. This is the moon. Everything is vague. Everything is kind of like, who is really behind it? Obviously, the dark energies are moving around as well, because pretty much that's the only thing they still have. They're going to mess around with it to make it they're like, it's more balanced, like probably they'll try to even the score so there won't be a red wave, but it's going to be so obvious. It's going to be very obvious. They think they can get away with it, but it wouldn't. It's so in your face, and it feels like the white hats have something to do with that as well. I think there's like more of a wait and see. But they just let it all happen, and it wouldn't surprise me if they've infiltrated some dark energies as well and are really over the top. I've seen some clips from Project Veritas showing proof actually there's something very wrong. So they think they're going to get away with it. They're not going to get away with it. But they think, and it's shown now, it's so in your face, which is very suitable. But the energy, of course, with the full moon, the moon eclipse, everything is coming out. All that dark mess, and it's coming out. People are seeing it, and it's really showing people. And it's about time to trust their own intuition, and also to not react immediately. Trust your intuition. No, it is going to be fine in the end. I fully understand that this will feel awful. It feels like a complete disappointment. Like when Mr. T didn't come back in 2020. Obviously, he is back in the background. He is never left, so to speak. But suddenly Mr. B was there, and there was this entire shock going on in the USA. Like, what happened here? And there will be a shock, and it will be necessary. But I do not think that it's going to last very long in this situation. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Lover's card. It's about choosing from your heart, making decisions and standing up for yourself. It's very important for the American people, when things are going to come out, that they trust it's going to be all right. If you connect with other people, that is fine, but come from a loving place because you love your country. Do not let them push you in a certain direction. They want civil unrest. That is what the dark energies want. They want panic, chaos, unrest. Don't let them manipulate you. Don't let them push you into anything. Just remain strong from your heart, from your connection with God, with your intuition. And it is going to be all right, but it needs to be shown. This is about showing. It's so important. More and more people will see it. So I want to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.